Welcome to this Moneycontrol interview. We are in conversation with Börje Ekholm, the global CEO of Ericsson. Thank you very much for joining us on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum. Before I begin with very Ericsson-specific questions, tell us a bit about your own assessment of, the geopolitics and the uncertainty around tariffs for a global company like Ericsson, which has significant operations around the world. What does this mean in terms of preparing for the new normal?
Of course, this is a situation that is a bit different, and geopolitics have actually played a much bigger role in our lives as a corporation for a number of years. I often say that when I started as CEO in 2017, geopolitics was not part of the job description. So it of course has changed. But I would also say that if we look at ourselves in this context, we actually have created a relatively diverse supply chain. We started to invest early on in that supply chain to actually build manufacturing footprint around the world. So we have a presence in India, we have in the US, we have of course in Europe and in South America and rest of Asia as well. But that have created actually a very flexible supply chain. So the impacts of tariffs so far have been relatively modest.
But going forward, how do you see this panning out, or is this the new normal, or a post-tariff world?
Of course, it's very hard to speculate. I think we as a company, we need to make sure that we're flexible enough so we can act regardless of conditions. And I often say in geopolitics, in reality we're takers. Somebody else decides how it's going to look like, and we need to be sure that we can adjust accordingly.
Right. Ericsson was also in the news recently for job cuts amid weak operator spending. I want to understand, is this a cyclical slowdown or a structural reset for the telecom industry?
I would say the industry selling telecom equipment to operators have been flat or flattish for 20 years. So we plan for the market to continue to be flat in that sense. And then we need to make sure that we're cost efficient in everything we do. And therefore we need to make those adjustments. And if we look, we've done this in the past as well. So we try to continuously improve our operation as much as possible. And now you happen to get the job cut announced last week. But it's part of this global efficiency effort that we actually continue to implement.
Right. Operations remain hesitant on 5G standalone. What's missing? Is it technology readiness, clear monetization, or regulatory support?
I would say actually it's moving very fast now into 5G standalone. So if we look in China, they have only deployed 5G standalone, and there we start to see a lot of new applications. It can be drones, factory automation, humanoids, all running on a 5G SA network. And we're starting to see American operators as well. India, it's happening. So I would say 5G SA or standalone is now starting to be rolled out in the bigger markets. The big question mark is Europe, where we don't really see the build out yet.
Right. Beyond traditional 5G, where do you see Ericsson's next meaningful growth coming from? Will it be AI-driven networks, enterprise, or something else?
Yeah, what we see, first of all, take a step back. I think AI, the first phase of AI was focused on data centers, large language models, semiconductors. We're now about entering the next stage in AI rollout or the way we use it. And it's going to be in applications, it's going to be in devices. So again, think drones, think services like simultaneous translation services, for example. All of these things will require connectivity. And they will typically be distributed, so they will require wireless connectivity. And here, so we believe the next, call it growth in traffic, in the networks, in the cell phone networks, will come from AI. They will have a different characteristic also. We'll have much more uplink, will require much lower latency, and that's exactly what 5G standalone was designed for. So we see that demand for those type of, I call it networks, are going to be bigger in the future. But we also see that this platform that we're building on the mobile networks can actually be used for other applications. So think about mission critical networks, police forces, other blue light services. Think defense, think enterprises. All of these will provide growth legs for us. But we kind of plan for a bit of a flattish, call it operator market for the big networks. But the growth will come from all these new type of applications.
Got it. In terms of the investor confidence, that's also been under pressure. What's the single most important milestone you will need to deliver, in the next 12 months? And circling back to geopolitics, it continues to sort of reshape the telecom markets as well. So how are you changing your strategy vis-a-vis Chinese competitors?
Now, for us, our biggest competitors are, of course, the Chinese competitors. So we need to make sure that we can lead on innovation. We can actually provide, call it, the best technology to our customers. That's what we're committed to do. That's why we invest almost $5 billion per year in R&D. It's the only way for us to actually stay on the forefront. So we have not really changed our strategy. It is to be innovation leader in mobile networks and then scale the usage of the mobile platform to new applications.
Right. In terms of India, how do you see India's telecom market? Is market reviving in terms of revenue potential this year?
India is, for us, a very important market. First of all, I would say it's actually our biggest country of employment. We have almost 25,000 people in India. So for us, India is critically important. I would also say our Indian customers are very important for the very simple reason that today India is a front-runner market. If you go back, call it a few years, India would almost be like a generation behind. Today it's a generation at the forefront for the simple reason that data traffic is growing so fast. And India has digitalized on top of the wireless networks. So think about the digital ID, for example. All of these things have happened in India thanks to a very strong mobile network. So the growth there in traffic have been tremendous. And today the data consumption per subscriber is among the highest in the world and continues to grow. So for us, we see that as a front-runner market, both from a scale point of view, but also from a technology point of view.
Right. Finally, how do you see developments around WE and market dynamics? Do you see relief package for the telco as a big positive for Ericsson?
I think for us, the way we think about the world is actually that we need healthy customers. As long as we have healthy customers, we're in a much better shape. If we look around the world, the reality is many operators struggle to make cost of capital. That is a problem. Europe is the obvious case where, with 4 operators per market, they simply do not have enough scale to actually be earning cost of capital. India, in reality, has 3 operators. Whereas Europe has, I think it's in the hundreds. So when you compare, it's very hard for a European operator to get scale. So we are often arguing for, healthier regulation, a healthier regulatory environment that gives our customers profitability.
Great. On that note, thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you.
Thank you.